What's up, y'all? Sorry I didn't get more episodes out to you guys today, but I had a really bad migraine. So this is going to be the only episode today. Welcome to Fight Club. And what I want to talk about today is a lot of people have been asking themselves on the left, is there any way that we can get progressives in office that aren't going to sell out? And I made a couple episodes about this before, and I have a couple of ideas. The main idea is you have to change the vetting process of the Justice Democrats or create a new organization like the Justice Democrats that has a much stricter vetting process. And in that vetting process, you must find people that have spent a lot of time being downtrodden by the government and the system. That means people that have been impoverished or homeless, or that have just dealt with bullcrap from the system since day one, so they hate the system. If you make sure that you have people that go in there that can't be bribed because they hate the system so much that you can't get them to go to the dark side, that is preferable. That's point A. The vetting process needs to be changed for the Justice Democrats or a new organization. And then point two, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to do this, but if this show gets big enough, I'll fucking do it. You have to run what's called, or what I call, a kamikaze campaign. Kamikaze campaigns are something I made up where you have to show your constituents that you're not going to sell out by saying, listen, here are these very specific goals that I'm going to get for you by this time or I will resign. And that has to be in their platform, and they have to repeat it over and over in public on different shows, whoever asks them, and who, add it in. If I were running for Congress here in Illinois, I would say, listen, I will get you a Medicare for All floor vote within 4 years or I quit. I promise you. And I would make other promises that would make it so obvious that you're not going to go in there and sell out. And if you don't get those things done, you have to stop. Now, you wouldn't ever, really, probably ever have to worry about re-election if you did that, because if you actually fought for these things, you would make so much money from donations. If people saw that you were actually fighting, you wouldn't actually have to worry about ever resigning. But you have to make that a promise to the people, and you have to be willing to quit if you don't get it done. And the people that would run these kamikaze campaigns, ideally, would go in there just to basically screw up the works and do Tea Party tactics, and I would say their main goal has to be to trash anybody that's in their way publicly. Go in there with the point that I'm going to go ham publicly on any of the Justice Democrats that are standing in my way for any of the things that they purport to be for, and you're going to drag them. And if you do that, if you go in there and say, this is my entire point for the next 2 to 4 years is going to be to expose the Justice Democrats for not voting as a bloc, and here's why, and go out every day and slam any of them that won't vote with you as a bloc, then what you would have is eventually they would either start voting as a bloc, or you would expose all of them and they would lose their jobs, or they would have to just deal with you. You would eventually get some concessions simply because you're such a pain in the ass. So, but the thing is, the people need to trust you now. Unfortunately, the Justice Democrats, being a failed experiment, really puts a damper on anybody wanting to donate to them anymore. Like, I can't donate to any more Justice Democrats. I don't know, man. I just can't trust that they're vetting these people properly. But if they were to change their vetting process and make that public, that would be great. Or if somebody were to run for office as a Justice Democrat, but under the same things that I just told you, that platform, I will get these things for you by this date or I quit, you know you can trust these people. You know you can trust them. And honestly, I think that we would have weeded out a lot of the Justice Democrats that we have right now had we had a better vetting process. I mean, Ayanna Pressley telling Cori Bush that she admitted to on CNN that she was like telling her on day one that you vote by yourself in the end. Thanks a lot. You're really helping the leftist cause there, Ayanna. So, Ayanna Pressley should never have been a Justice Democrat. A lot of these people should never have been Justice Democrats. They need to up their vetting process, or people need to, or Justice Democrats should run kamikaze campaigns. Because here's the thing. You run a kamikaze campaign and you do it well, you're going to get reelected anyway and you never have to quit. Because you'll get things for the people. because you're willing to fight in those 2 to 4 years because you're not going to make a career out of it. So if you were just to run on that and make it public to people while you were running, they would vote for you, they would donate to you, and once it was apparent that you were going in there to fuck with the Justice Democrats and get them in line, you would get more donations than all of those suckers right now. And you would get reelected without even having to try. You just go to work and make sure that they vote together and get them together. That would be enough just to get you reelected. So that's my take, guys. The Kamikaze campaign has to become a thing if you want to still go, like, rise through the ranks of the Democratic Party. If you don't do something like this, the Democratic Party, you can't navigate it. It is a graveyard where progressives go to die, as Kshama Sawant says. But you do this, it could work. If you can't do something like this, then we have to start thinking about third-party stuff or running outside the Democratic Party. So take it for what it's worth. I'm an idiot. I'm, just kind of spitballing here. But I've said this before. They do this, there's a chance. But they have to go in there with their whole point to be to get the Justice Democrats whipped into line, and that they don't intend on making it a career. Take it for what it's worth, guys. I love you. We'll see you.